All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Renatus InvestEdge. My name is Jay Stark. It is my honor to get to welcome each and every single one of you to our call today. I want to extend a very special welcome to those of you that are here for the first time. The design of this broadcast is to bring to you practitioners, individuals that are out there making their full-time living doing what they're going to talk about in real estate investing, and then they're going to come out on this call. They're going to share their tips, their tricks, their insider knowledge, and all of the wonderful ways in which they are able to harness the opportunities that are available today. So buckle up, make sure you have your note-taking device at the ready, and get ready to take action on what you hear today. Now, our host for the remainder of the call is an individual that I've had the pleasure of working for 14 and a half years. He has more than 38 years directly in the business, and even more than that if you take into account all of the sales experience that he has across his lifetime. He's an individual that has been at the top of or owned several companies that have collectively yielded hundreds of millions of dollars in commissions paid and in income. I am so excited. If you've never had the opportunity to meet him, I'm so excited to be able to introduce to you for the very first time the founder and CEO of Renatus. He truly is, like I said, a man that I've had the privilege of working for 14 and a half years. I call it a privilege because every single day I go home more inspired, more amped up, and more excited about the opportunities that are in front of us. So join me in welcoming out onto our call, Mr. Bob Snyder.
Man, thank you, Jay. I'm telling you what, it's just such a joy for me to be able to work side by side with an incredible individual like Jay Stark. So, I mean, We've got an amazing thing going on here.
Yes, sir.
It's 14 and a half years has flown by.
Yeah, it has. It feels like a blink.
But we're thrilled to be with you. We've got a great InvestEdge call planned for you today. This is going to be an absolutely epic discussion as we get into some of the, finer points of what we do. But before we do that, hey, you know what? We just want to remind you that, we've got a channel, and a channel we're growing with individuals who want to grow. They want to become better at real estate investing. They want to understand personal development. They want to be able to lean into some of their strengths and their entrepreneurial mindset. And that's what this show is all about. So we would encourage you to, like us, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so that we can notify you whenever there is any new episodes that'll be coming up, because we do this every Monday. And we'll get you announced, or I should say we'll get you notified. I didn't want to say notified too many times, so, So we'll get you notified of the upcoming show and what's going on. Now, with that in mind, I got to give you a little perspective as to what Renatus is truly all about. I mean, here's our mission statement, just so that you guys can follow along. Our mission statement is this. It is to create a new generation of real estate investors equipped with principle-centered financial education that empowers them to reduce debt faster, cut taxes legally, negotiate smarter, and invest wiser through educational strategies designed to pay for themselves. Whew. How's that working for folks? Well, let me introduce you to our guest today, because this is an individual who started with us as a young budding investor, an individual who didn't know anything about real estate investing until he met us. And now his life has transformed, but more importantly, he's now transforming others in the process as he shares with them some of the tips and tricks and ideas that he's learned over the years that are really helping to propel his own real estate investing career. You got to be excited about this. I'm not going to take a lot away from his story because I want him to share it, but it is powerful.
Yeah.
Umaer Haq, come on out here, my friend. It's great to have you with us on the InvestEdge.
It's great to be here, Bob. It's great to be here, Jay. What's up, guys?
Hey, we're just loving life, man, and it's good to see you. Now, listen, Umaer, I've got to ask you right out of the gate. There are some things hanging on the wall behind you. I mean, do they have any significance at all? Did you just pick them up at the local thrift store just so you had some wall art? What's with that?
Yeah. Before I got into business and real estate investing, in my previous life, I did some professional mixed martial arts and boxing. It seems like a whole nother lifetime ago, but that fighter mentality, I can say, has really helped me in business and entrepreneurship over the last decade that I've been doing this now because of you, Renatus, and the home team. So, little background.
Well, and I've got to tell you, I Personally, I mean, for selfish interest, Umair, I'm pretty happy about that because we've gotten to travel the world together. I mean, we've been through, so many of the different islands of the Caribbean, down through Mexico, Dubai, London. And over the years, I don't know if you really understood why I had such a desire to just hang out with you all the time. I mean, part of it was because of your charming and beaming personality, but the other side of it is that I felt safe in your presence, man.
You had a bodyguard.
Yeah, I had a bodyguard. I had a built-in bodyguard. I felt safe in his presence. So I love traveling with you, my friend.
Well, I've got your back, I've got your back 24/7. So I'm just glad that I got to travel and have fun and actually enjoy my life because of real estate investing, this opportunity. So I'm just so thankful and grateful to just be here hanging out with you guys. And now it's like, I was thinking about one of the instructors that has really impacted my life, Bill Omi. He's another one of our instructors. And if it wasn't for him, paying it forward, we wouldn't be living a more flexible financial life. So now I'm excited about just sharing with you guys a part of my journey, what I've been through, and possibly being able to help others here as they embark on their journey.
Hey, Umair, do me a favor, man. Tell us a little bit about that journey. Go back in time. What was it like when you first got introduced to real estate investing? And, well, even before that, why were you searching for something different?
Well, I wasn't really sure what I was searching for. I just knew I didn't want to keep getting punched in the face for a living. But I initially started learning that people can build wealth and stop working a job using real estate investing. So I was like on the University of YouTube. I was on Bigger Pockets. I would pay for these little mom and pop programs where there was a guy selling his thing. And I spent money on that and ultimately just never led to actual dollars. And so I was struggling living with my mom and dad in their basement. I was in 24, 25-ish. I found Renatus in 2015 when I was 25. So I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, to be honest. And those were some dark times. Even after I got started with this group, I didn't have the money, but luckily the person who helped share Renatus with me showed me all of these ways. He goes, you're going to be a creative real estate investor. Starting your business with us, you got to put that creativity hat on. So I was able to get started with this group with no money out of pocket just by thinking smarter. And so I say all that to say it was tough. Like, my parents thought that I was out of my mind. My dad actually kicked me out of his house when he found out that I was I quit my job. I was working for the school system. My sister got me a job doing like before and after school childcare in Virginia. There's something called Fairfax County, it's called the SAC program. And I quit my job and I went all in on this idea. And now it's even crazy that I'm saying I went all in on this idea that I can create a life by design. And it's crazy where life has taken us, so everyone is just one decision away. It's crazy. You're like one idea, one decision away to having everything you want. And so I look back and I'm like, wow, that was like one of the biggest decisions of my life. And I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I'm at if it wasn't for that decision that I made. So
I'm kind of curious. Talk to us a little bit about the journey. I mean, you've made some great decisions. That one decision certainly was something that propelled you forward. Let's talk a little bit about the real estate deals that you've done, the success that you've enjoyed, and whether or not your dad has come to accept you again.
Yeah, I think he still can't believe it. He's in awe, right? Because I was diagnosed with ADHD at an early age. I'm dyslexic. I read things backward. I'm like a D and F student, right? If I applied myself a C student, because it just wasn't the way my brain worked. Like, I couldn't memorize stuff and I would get anxious. And so my dad is now, very, very proud. He can't believe that I have my own home. He can't believe that, I'm, technically a millionaire, that I'm living off of my portfolio. It's like, it's like stuff that he would hear on commercials and stuff when he first came to this country back in the late 70s, right? He's like, my son is like, so he's proud of me and he's told me that, and that really means everything to me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that happens. I mean, people that say, "Yeah, stay away from me with that idea," or "I'm not, it's not for me. Just stay away." And then later in life, as you become successful, they're coming around. They're going, "Man, I always knew you'd make it."
Right. It's interesting, but that's the resistance I think that all of us have to get through if we're gonna reach levels of greatness or success in anything. You have to push through that resistance, and I think that's one thing I learned how to do early in life through martial arts. Is when there's pain, I don't back away. I push through it. Some piece of advice I can give anyone who really wants to start getting into business and real estate investing.
So, do you think some of that rejection and negative public opinion that you might be faced with, is that a little bit of a litmus test to let you know you might be on the right path?
Right. I tell everyone like that want to just make a big change in their life. Just, what you want to do, look at the big picture, burn the boats, and move forward.
Right on. Hey, so coming back around to some of the real estate, question that we had, and that is, where did it all start? What strategy did you utilize right out of the gate?
So my first deal, and it was so cool just working with the coaching and stuff, because you're scared when you're doing anything new. Let's just be honest. You're shaking in your boots, your heart rate's up. You're like, man, am I doing this right? Is everything in place, right? But my first deal was a fix and flip. I was able to do that without using my own money. And really without using my credit, although hard money lenders or asset-based lenders don't care about your credit, right? But I was able to do that deal with no money out of pocket and still pocket $43,000. And so that I'm not flipping houses per se anymore, although I do have, I cannot wait to share with you some of the real estate strategies I'm doing now. But that deal was awesome.
That's fantastic. And then, so what was next?
So yeah, after I started realizing that deals can be done creatively by providing value to all the parties involved, like on that first deal, I used a hard money lender, but the lender wanted 20% down, right? So I learned through the self-directed retirements class, and I learned through raising private money in partnerships that I could actually raise the 20% down that I needed, as long as I provided value to the lender giving that to me. So that just I was like, holy smokes, I literally made money without using my own money, and everybody won. So I did a couple more flips after that. I did some wholesale deals. I got involved with some creative acquisitions, like some subject to deals. And the first couple of years I did deals, and then I would make money, and then there's phases, right? And then I would make money, and I did a lot of different types of deals in the beginning because I wanted to test drive stuff. I tried on the Airbnb arbitrage strategy. I tried on the land development strategy. I tried on the fix and flip strategy. And it's so cool because I had all of the knowledge and resources and tools with you guys that I was just trying things on and seeing what fit my personality. And then I just take it off and say, okay, that was cool. And then I finally found my niche in what I really, really wanted to do back in 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
And
talk to us a little bit about that. What is that niche, that thing you really wanted to do?
Yeah, well, I fell in love with, I've learned to always do opposite, right? When the market's crashing, the ones who are strong enough to do opposite always end up winning, right? If you just track history. And I absolutely fell in love with mobile home parks.
Excellent. How?
Just fell in love with
How
it.
did you even trip over mobile home parks?
Well, I did all of these strategies, like the fix and flips and the lease options and the wholesaling and the subject to. I did all of these strategies, even looked at apartment buildings. But when I dissected a mobile home park, I can do every strategy that you guys taught me, and I can own the whole neighborhood. And when I compared it to the cash on cash return, to every other strategy, I will stand by this strategy I can debate it with anyone. No, it produces the most amount of cash flow, and in my perspective, with the least amount of time and effort. And I get to help a lot of people. We're having an affordable housing crisis right now. People can't afford to live places. They're being kicked out of areas. And so when I looked at the mobile home park space, I was like, man, either I'm crazy or I'm really missing something. So I have adopted mobile home parks, and affordable housing is what I focus on as a real estate investor. A, because it makes me a lot of cash flow, and B, because I get the opportunity to help other people.
Right on, man. That is excellent. How do you help other people? I mean, how does that work? Because, when we talk about real estate investing strategies, I think there's a misconception with a lot of folks that they believe that really as investors, we're just helping ourselves.
Yep.
How do you help other people?
It's so far from the truth, right? Like, I help people. Here's one example. I help people get into properties that a lot of times they couldn't get into because in my parks, I can provide seller financing. So maybe they don't have good credit. Maybe they weren't taught about finances. Well, we can get them into a home without really having to have a stringent bank process. Here's the other play that I'm doing now, and I haven't really told anyone about this until today. So I'm actually, and I want to put this in my class, if I can, I'm actually buying land. I'm buying plots of land all across rural America, South Carolina, Georgia. I mean, you could do this model anywhere. We're buying land. We're buying double wide mobile homes or single wide mobile homes. We're taking the wheels and the axles off the homes, and we're installing them on a permanent foundation. And we are retiring the mobile home title. When you do that, the property is considered real property now.
Right.
And so I'm able to take that piece of land with the mobile home that I got at a discount from a manufacturer, and I'm able to sell that property to a first-time home buyer that can get into their new home with no money down. FHA, VA, USDA loans. And so I'm able to help the affordable housing crisis, basically, just with the information that I've attained and learned here with the group.
Wow, that is kind of an interesting strategy, man. That's like combining several different elements all at once, trying to meet that need. That's really, really cool. Sorry, I was just...
No, you know what I thought was really cool about it is it just shows you that sometimes what we think may actually create more value doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to take a mobile home, something that actually can be transported from point A to point B. It can be driven across the country. You can, bring it to a campsite as long as you got a really wide road and not a lot of pine trees, right? So you have the flexibility of mobility. I like that.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting that the minute you rip off the axles, you take off the trailer brake lights on the back of the thing, you get rid of the tires, and you put it on a foundation so that it no longer can be moved anywhere. It becomes a fixed asset, and the value goes up.
Way up. And get this. Like, when I was flipping houses, I would deal with hard money lenders. There was high prices. I'm in Virginia. I'm like, oh my God, this house is $600,000. There's like all these things. I got to deal with a draw schedule. I got to deal with inspections. Guys, I don't deal with none of that. And I'm making 40 to 90 grand a pop on each deal.
That is fantastic.
And I'm going to be putting this in my class. You can do this from literally anywhere in the country.
Right on, man. It's funny because you led this discussion by saying, I hope I can add this to my class. I was like, well, I think we can make that happen.
I
think we can make that happen. I think we're the decision makers on that. So, Umaer, yes, you can absolutely add that to your class.
There is enough land and there's enough opportunity for everyone in America. And there are so many people that cannot afford their first home right now, guys. So if we all came together as a community, think about the impact we can make on those 20 to 30-some-year-old people that they don't believe that home ownership is a possibility for them anymore because of inflation. Well, guess what? Now it is.
Yeah. Now, it absolutely is. Umaer, You see, here's the thing that I absolutely love about you, about our educators, about the environment that we've created, is because it's always about thinking out of the box so that we can solve a problem. There is a housing crisis. In other words, we don't have enough houses to meet the needs of the current and growing population of the United States. But we also, even when we do meet the needs with housing, there's that affordability issue that plays a role. And if it's not affordable, it's as if it didn't exist to begin with. You've just created an affordability answer or to a problem that exists. I'll tell you another thing that we're kind of exploring right now, and that is shared housing, because there seems to be a huge movement in that direction as well, where individual landlords are figuring out how they're going to take one house and divide it all up into individual bedrooms and then rent individual bedrooms with some common space there. And the rents that they're pulling are significantly higher than if they just rented to a family or to a couple of individuals. It's all about problem solving. And that's the beauty of real estate, is that you see a need, you answer the need, and you actually can be compensated for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing what you guys have to take a guy like me that really is not like book smart and put me in a space where I'm with others on a daily, weekly, monthly basis with our communities. Put me in a space where if I don't have money, you guys gave me the opportunity to start making money with you, with the income opportunities that you provided me. Like, you gave me, like, when I look at this group, it's like we don't have a cookie cutter approach. And I love that, because that's what most companies do. What we have is an organic approach where anyone from any walk of life can come in and they could literally customize their way to becoming a real estate investor. Because like in my instance, I didn't really have a lot of capital, but you guys showed me how to think creatively to just even get in. But then even after I got into this group and I didn't have a ton of money, you gave me like backup plan A, backup plan B, backup plan C. Whereas when I was just doing things by myself, I had no plan. So thank you. Right?
Well,
just
man,
thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. You know what? One of the things that I love about your story, Umaer, is not just where you came from to learning how to invest, to becoming a successful investor, but when we had the conversation about you being willing to step into the role of instructor, you didn't even flinch. You were like, hey, not a problem, man. I'm ready to give back. And I so appreciate that of you. It's indicative of what goes on inside of this community, and you're leading the way. So help people better understand, now that you've done all these different strategies, you found your niche, your favorite, which is in mobile home parks. What's that done for you and your family?
I mean, we're not stressed out. And that's number one. We're not stressed out. My wife is taking on full-time mom. She's learning about homeschooling. She's learning about how to have a healthy child. Like, she gets to pour into our baby. And when I get to see that, because I work from home, right? I'm working from my phone. I'm doing things. I'm still systemizing. I'm still growing. But no amount of money can really put in words what it's like on a daily basis. Like, so when we wake up early in the mornings, I like getting up early, going to the gym, working out. I see in my neighborhood, everyone's getting in their cars, rushing their kids, getting food in their mouth, rushing them to get them somewhere. And like, when I see them, I feel anxious. It's like, wow, that's like, are they living? Or are they just, it's like, I see this, they're all just rushing out. And when I wake up and I watch that in the morning, there's so much traffic. I live in the Washington, D.C. area. And so if I'm out in the morning and I'm sitting through traffic on an odd day just because I'm going to do something, it's like, wow, I don't have to do this.
Yeah, no kidding. I've got to tell you that the folks in D.C., there's something about that environment back there that I really think makes them more compliant than other areas of the country, because they actually, at least when I've been driving around there, obey the speed limit. It's such a foreign concept to me. because out here in Utah, maybe it's still the wild, wild west, but that's nothing. We really respect a person
you
who
really
can
aren't
expedite.
Supposed to.
Yeah, they can expedite. I mean, going from point A to
Well,
point B with some sort of
a-
speed and efficiency. And DC, it's just a little bit slower pace. It's kind of wild.
No, it's a money grab, because if you go over that speed limit, you're getting a ticket.
Ooh, so what you're saying
Ooh,
is that
yeah.
laws enforced do actually create a deterrent to crime.
Yes.
So, let's talk a little bit about that, because that's one of the things that is always a concern to folks when you talk about low-income housing and mobile home parks and things of that nature. There's a bit of a stigma attached to them. Oh. How do you deal with that, Umaer?
Well, the world is changing. It's shifting, and there's always a root cause, right? The root cause behind the stigma is all the towns and all the jurisdictions got together, because when you have a mobile home park, the towns don't get as much tax income. Okay, you got to understand that. You got to get the roots. So because the mobile homes are considered vehicles, there's not as much tax revenue to that jurisdiction. So that's really the underlying reason why most areas didn't like mobile home parks. And so by understanding that and understanding what time we're in with the economy, you can start having conversations with municipalities where you can create a win-win situation somewhere. So when it comes to like the whole conditioning of mobile home, like, you guys have heard it, trailer trash, or you don't get the right customers. I think it's nonsense. People are people. There's good and bad rich people. There's good and bad poor people. And so when you're running your business like a business and you're treating all of the customers the same, they're going to feel that, right? There's a value exchange. And so as long as you're not a slumlord and you're actually taking care of your parks, which I'm really focusing on doing, you're always going to win. So I've dealt with it by leaning into it. Okay. Like I said, I try to do opposite of what every other investor is doing. And if everyone's jumping into the luxury markets, I'm very logical about it. I'm like, hey, when the market crashes, the first market to really go are the luxury markets, right? Because the people who are in the higher market space, and now maybe they lost a high income job, they're moving from a nice huge house and they're downgrading to maybe a smaller house or a townhouse. Right. And so as I built in those market corrections as I chose the mobile home park space. So there's a multitude of reasons why I play here and do mobile home parks, but I don't care about the stigma. In fact, I have a vision of cleaning it up. And people don't want to live in an apartment. When you're in an apartment building, you're surrounded in four walls. You can hear people next to you. What is the American dream? People want to have a front yard. They want to have a backyard. They want to be a part of a community. So I compared mobile home parks to every strategy. And by buying the park and owning the neighborhood, it's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, if you can find something better, let me know. It doesn't exist. Like I told my team, just some of the investors here in my area in Virginia, I bought a park back in 2022. And I talk about this park all the time. I've been cleaning it up. It's like, I love this park. I bought it for $155,000. People can't believe I bought a whole park for just one. I mean, you can't even buy a townhouse for $155,000 all across the country.
No, in some areas of the country, you can't buy a tough shed on a sandbox for $155,000.
Right. And it just hear me out right now. So over the last 3 years, I've been bringing in used mobile homes. I've been fixing up the space. I've been increasing the net operating income. Last month, the same mobile home park that I bought for $155,000 just appraised for $820,000.
Oh man, that's good numbers.
Wait. You said 2022 to current.
And
3 years.
I have it. I can share my screen right now because I know some people will call. They're like, no way. I bought it for $155,000. It just appraised for $820,000.
That is fantastic.
Now, as an investor, what am I going to do? Right? I'm still young. I'm still in my growth mode. I'm going to pull some of that cash out. Typically, a bank will give you, 80% of the overall value. So I'm going to pull some equity out. The bank is going to give me a boatload of money in my business bank account, which, by the way, I'm not going to pay any tax on because it's technically considered what?
Debt.
Debt.
Yep.
And we don't pay taxes on debt. But now, am I going to pay that debt back? No. Who's going to pay the debt back? The people who live in my community are going to pay the debt service, taxes, insurance, and I still have cash flow left over. So I'm going to take the $600,000 that debt that they give me, and I'm going to use it to go buy more parks, which is then going to just help me become even more wealthy and provide more value. And the circle just keeps going. The message I want people to hear, if they're hearing this right now, is a lot of times they say, man, I can't afford to invest in myself. I can't afford to get into real estate. No. You cannot not afford to do it. Because if I want people to feel this. Like, the rich keep getting rich. Yes, that is a fact. The poor do typically stay poor. But if you take the time to really look at the game, it's a big game. And Renatus is teaching us how to play the game properly. Anyone can do it. And so I get so passionate about this because I truly believe that every one of us Americans have an equal opportunity. Doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, your background. The difference is if you're willing to apply yourself or not. And because of this group and what you've been able to create, and I can't say thank you enough, right? We're a part of the top. It's where I've always wanted to be. So...
Well, I'm certainly glad that you're here because, you're not only enjoying fantastic success, but you're so willing to share it with others. And I very much appreciate that, Umaer. You're a good man. And, you kind of described one of my philosophies. Now, I have to put a little bit of a disclaimer on this because I've always been a big believer. There are some exceptions, but with few exceptions, I truly believe we're all born equal with the opportunity to become unequal. And it's all based on the choices and the decisions that we decide to make along the way. You made choices and decisions that were contrary in very many areas to what your family dictated based on their frame of reference as to what success looked like. And now they've had a magnificent reassociation built around the success that you've created. And now you're paying it forward and doing it for others. Plus, you're transforming areas of the country that maybe have not been well cared for. Obviously, for you to receive an increase in valuation on that property had to be something more than just appreciation.
Right. It was filling in all the empty lots. It was bringing in newer used homes. It was providing jobs to the contractors that are working on the park. It was, there's an ecosystem, right? Just like in any neighborhood. So As soon as someone comes in and starts providing value, you're providing jobs for the people who are doing work in your neighborhoods. You're bringing in people from other areas that maybe want a lower cost of living and that they can work from their laptop. You're helping the banks because the banks are now they're lending their money. Right. So look at all of the people win because of entrepreneurship. So the banks, the title companies, the county, the jurisdiction, the people moving there. Not even that, but my mobile home park is right up the street from a Piggly Wiggly, a Rose's, a Hardee's, a Subway, AutoZone. So now the new people that are living there are all going to go to those businesses that now thrive because of us.
Yeah, it's really too bad that we couldn't do the mobile home strategy, and maybe you can in some of the ski resorts, some of the resort towns that seem to be so popular in the summer or the winter months, where they don't have housing for employees, and that's probably one of the biggest challenges that's creating a labor shortage in those areas. But as entrepreneurs, as real estate investors, you just got to put your thinking cap on and try to figure out ways to solve that problem, and then it turns out to be a huge win. And that's what you're doing, Umaer.
Even hearing ideas like what you just said, like I was like, oh, duh, yeah, what if we could, like
There's
hanging
a
out with
need
entrepreneurs
there.
like us, right? We're all entrepreneurs. So it's like, oh, well, yeah, you're right. Ski resorts.
I love
Okay.
that. I love that you are demonstrating right now exactly how that creative process works. I love that you started with one tool, right? You started with that first fix and flip. You made some money, and then you moved on. You started using the other tools that are in the toolbox provided by Renatus, and then you decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to leverage all of these tools in a different way where there isn't currently a class or a strategy that's defining this. And then you went out there, you proved the model, and then you came back to us and said, hey guys, I can teach this class.
Oh, yeah.
I want to show people how to do what I've been able to do. I love that. You are just another of the many incredible stories that we're able to take Renatus and do amazing things.
You know what? I think there's a yurt village someplace at a resort town with Umaer's name on it.
I think so. He's going to be calling up Tahoe and be like, hey, so.
You know what? You got a problem, I got a solution. Let's work together on this.
Let's figure it out. I mean, we're all that's the
right,
beauty
man.
of
You know what? If the
capitalism,
resort
man.
will just donate a little land, I can take care of the problem.
Oh, there you
I
go.
can provide affordable housing for
There
all of
you
your
go.
employees.
I love it.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
That is fantastic, man. So, Umaer, speak to us with some of your words of wisdom. You've certainly given a lot of people hope, and you've given them some direction. What's one thing that, if you were starting over from scratch, you would have implemented now rather than later?
That's a great question.
One thing that if I was starting over from scratch, you mean other than getting started with the group?
Yes.
Okay. One thing
because
that I would've
obviously that was a given for you.
Yeah. One thing that I wish I would have implemented earlier, like I waited, because it was like a deal would come, I would do a deal, and then another deal would sort of land in my lap, and I would do that deal, and I'd make some money, and then I'd kind of like chill a little bit. One thing that I really wish I automated and did early, and it all started coming together when I started watching the business automation course, when I really started watching the business growth and development stuff that you guys were offering, when I started really getting my head wrapped around systems and processes and procedures and all that. I really wish I would have streamlined my lead generation funnel, if you may, earlier.
Okay.
Because I would do a deal and then I'd just chill for a little bit. And I've been able to do that and create a good income. But, what I learned over the time is the worst business is the business that relies on me. If I'm the most important person in my business, then my business isn't very significant. And so I wish I would have received that wisdom a little bit early, because I wouldn't have made it Umaer based. I would have made it more process based.
Yeah.
You guys have all heard of the standard operating procedures that you want to have in your business. The E-Myth. You want to work. You don't want to work in your business, rather on your business. And for too long, it was just me, self-employed. And you hear it all the time. Like Robert Kiyosaki would talk about it, in his books and stuff. But it's that whole going from self-employed to business ownership. And the biggest thing was like, man, Umaer, you're doing deals, you've acquired the knowledge of how to do it, but you haven't yet systemized and automated your lead generational funnel process. And that's something that is now like, all right, cool. I got fishes in the water. I got like the strings of I'm fishing all the time for those deals, and they're actually coming into a pipeline where I can then work that lead to there's a streamlining of a process. And so I wouldn't say just focus on that, but if you're just doing these one-off deals like I was for a number of years, you got to look at where that bottleneck is and try to solve for that problem, or it's going to continue to be a problem and you might end up self-employed.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to end up self-employed. I wanted to be a true business owner.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, hey, I know that we've only got a couple of minutes left, but one thing that I know that you're a fan of is the software that's offered by Renatus. I would love to hear your take on that real quick.
Yeah. In fact, I found one of my mobile home parks using the iOS system. It has the most robust data anyone can ever find. I mean, anytime I'm working a lead and working with a seller, that is my go-to to get the information on where it's at, whether it's the Liz Pendens has been offered or where it's at on the foreclosure process, or hey, is there a mortgage on here? And if there is, how much? What's the owner's name? Can I get the contact information of the? I mean, it is my go-to to get the data that I need to work that lead. I mean, it's just amazing to have that in my back pocket. Like most people are. Like they're on training wheels still. They're really not rolling until they get the opportunity to learn about the investor operating system. So, in fact, it would be cool if you guys could leave like something for our viewers to actually see that system, because they'll realize that they can start getting leads now and then start implementing the strategies that they're learning. And over time, just even if they did one deal a year, it's going to make a huge impact.
No doubt. You know what, man? We had to get Bob Tierney to come out here and do a demo for us.
Yeah, we should. Absolutely. Then we can refer back to it. Yeah.
Right.
That would be awesome.
Because you're absolutely right. I mean, we believe very much in show, don't tell. You know, so let's just demonstrate what we've got, because you're right. When it comes to data, I don't know anything out there that competes with this in terms of just sheer raw data to mine and harvest. You can do skip tracing on there. You can check out all the foreclosures. You can find hard money lenders, private lenders. You can find vacant homes,
zombie properties. You can find distressed owners. You can find all sorts of cool things. But then you can really look up different neighborhoods and really get the temperature of that neighborhood, of what's going on there. And that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm glad you kind of mentioned that. What was that, Umair?
It just hits on, I mean, we just, like, you guys, we hit on every phase of a business, right? Whether it's sales or marketing, or it's your finance, or it's your operations. I now know every phase of it, and it's a beautiful thing, right? So that's, I don't know. I feel like,
Well, my
what
friend,
this group does, I would put it up against anything. Like what this group offers and what you guys have given me, I would put it up against anything and say, all right, let's have a showdown here. Because that's just my mentality. I'm like, all right, like, who's the best?
I'm a little bit biased too, so I've always been under the impression that, I mean, you know, if you put us up against anybody else, I mean, you know, 10 out of 10 times we're going to win. I know that's a little bit of a bias.
At least you admit that you're biased.
Slanted opinion, but I truly believe that's the case.
Yeah.
And I'm open to like calling people out on YouTube. I'm like, hey, you got something better, a better process, better coaching, better systems, better lead generation? Prove it. I haven't had one person prove me wrong yet. I mean, I'm just like that. I'm like, hey, you're going to say something, let's talk about it. And let's have a conversation about it. Kind of like that guy I was following. Man, it just breaks my heart. Charlie Kirk was like that. I loved this guy, Charlie Kirk. You know, he was just like, just listen to him. He was like, hey, let's just have a conversation about it and let's go from there. So I actually use that same approach as a business owner. I'm like, hey, let's have a conversation about it and see where it goes.
Man, I think that would be fun. We could actually give belts away, like, you know, he's got hanging behind him there.
Oh, yeah, little tournament style.
That would be a little tournament style debate.
Yes.
We could start putting Umaer up against, you know, challengers on a regular basis.
I like it.
You know, not a physical battle.
No, an intellectual battle.
An intellectual battle of ideas and strategies. And,
why not?
You've just given me an idea, Umaer.
Why don't we call it the Renatus Investors Edge Showdown, where we literally invite anyone in the game, and we just compare apples to apples on how this group creates real estate investment.
With this, buddy.
I will take it. I'll be the first one in the ring, coach. Like, put me in.
We should call it like Renatus Royale. You know, something where it's like call back to the old wrestling battle like royale kind of deal.
Yeah. No, I'm older than you, but I wasn't even familiar with that term.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Welcome
you
to
are
the
a
80s.
wealth of knowledge.
I mean, really think about it, guys. Yeah, it's
listening,
like
Yeah, listening to you talk and listening to you kind of cover those bases and then unabashedly supporting Renatus and saying, hey, prove me wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, but you got to prove me wrong. So come out here and let's talk about it. I love your confidence, and I love the way that you approach real estate investing and the way that you approach your business, your family, and your opportunity, where you're like, yeah, I am going to create the life that I've always wanted. I mean, you started literally in your parents' basement, and at a point in time, your dad kicked you out of the basement because of what you believed in and what you were going after. And now you are designing your life every single day on purpose. I think that's such a cool story, and you're such an inspiration to so many. That's amazing.
I love it. And my intention is to create more duplicatable success. I mean, I think the country needs it right now. I think we're better together than we ever are by ourselves. And I love a sense of community. I love the sense of belonging, and so do so many others, right? That's why what we do is so powerful. Not just the fact that Renatus embodies everything that someone would need to become successful in real estate investing, but when I look back at it, it's so much deeper. So much deeper. It's not just, oh, I made some money. It's like, no, I have a sense of belonging from just being a part of this group, that like if other people that really want a community, they want a system, they want a sense of belonging, something for the greater good, then this group is, you gotta be a part of it to feel it. That's when Bob always says, when we have these in-person meetings and sometimes people blow them off, he goes, when you're there in person and you feel the energy and the vibration, that's when this whole group, this business, this opportunity goes from your head to your heart. And I want other people to feel that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you, Umaer, man. You're such a rock star. We so appreciate you. In parting, I would love for you to tell folks what they're going to learn from your time on stage at the E3 Summit, because we're going to talk about that just a little bit.
I'm going to take a deep dive into mobile home parks. I'm just not going to touch the surface. I'm going to take a lot of the content that I've used to make my own passive income. We're a little over $35,000 in gross revenue right now, and I keep my expense ratios low. So I'm going to go into how to actually do it. I mean, we're going to go into strategies, tactics, techniques, and I practice what I preach. So I'm going to be literally showing you the deals that I'm doing right now, how they're happening, what I'm learning. It's going to be practical, applicable information from the stage, and I'm going to pour everything I have into it. Hopefully, when you leave there, you'll either have a bunch of notes with something that you can actually take and go apply immediately. That's awesome. What you can expect from me.
I can't wait. Umaer, thanks for being our featured guest today. It was awesome to have you out here to hear your story and your perspective. And now I think he's kind of laid down the challenge. We're going to have to explore that idea. I mean, we're going to have Umaer Haq on here saying, prove me wrong.
Renatus Royale, baby.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
I think it'll be great. It'd be awesome. Yes. I just stand by what we do, and I've seen a lot of people get hurt because these companies that don't have, they don't care about the consumer, and you actually do. And I know that because I've come up as a consumer and I felt that. And so I've seen a lot of people spend a lot of money and sometimes they're gone and they don't have that personal touch, and they don't get treated like a human being. They get treated like a number. And so I stand by every word that comes out of my mouth.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Can't wait to see you. I mean, gee, we've only got 30 days.
30 days.
30 days until the E3 Summit, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So thanks for being our special guest, Umaer. You're a rock star. Keep up the great work. Can't wait to see how your story continues to unfold, because, man, it's a barn burner. Hey, I just want to go to the screen real quick here. I got a few announcements for the folks in our community, as well as information on the E3 Summit. Bob Bloom's legal and asset protection class is, alive and well. We've got a brand new workbook and support materials for that class for all of our community members. Also wanted to make everybody aware that we have shareable E3 videos. So if you want to get the word out and invite some folks to come to the E3, all you got to do is go to the QR code that's on your screen right now, and those shareable E3 videos with invites are designed to fit each and every drive. Now, for those of you that are just checking this out for the first time, you're not even going to know what Drive is, but Drive is a proprietary technology that we have developed that allows individuals to speak the 5 different buying languages that anyone that would be taking a look at, purchasing or getting involved in something would want to be spoken to in. Anyway, there's a whole technology and a whole lot of information about that. But these videos have been designed around each of those drives, first being director, then relator, then intellectual, then validator, and then executive. Here's another thing, too. There's a lot of folks who say, hey, you guys, I like what I hear. I'd like to know more about you, but I want to do it in a very non-threatening, very non-pushy way. Listen, we've designed that for you because we want you to just get better acquainted so you can make an intelligent decision about us. On your screen, we have renatus.me/intro, or the QR code will take you to a webinar, and it will give you all of the backstory and the information about Renatus so that you can get better acquainted and determine whether or not this may be a community you'd like to be a part of. The next thing is our social media. We invite you to go out there and check us out on Instagram as well as on Facebook. There's the QR codes and the information about that so that you can, see what we're posting on a regular basis and get better acquainted with us there. Now, let's talk about the E3 Summit, which is coming up. This is the fall Renatus E3 Summit. It's October 23rd through the 25th in Salt Lake City. It's downtown. It's at the Salt Lake Sheraton. You do not want to miss this event. This is an incredible event. And today is the day before the last day of the early bird special. Tomorrow, the early bird special goes away. It's $197 for individuals to come and join us. We invite you to do so. Price is going up as of midnight tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. Did you know that the early bird is actually expiring tomorrow?
Holy smokes. The early bird is expiring tomorrow.
It is expiring tomorrow.
That.
Now, I need to make sure that people are really, really aware that it expires at midnight Mountain Time.
Yes, Mountain Time.
In fact, what I'd like to encourage every single person to do who's coming, get your ticket now. Don't wait until you get anywhere near getting the cutoff in any time zone.
That's right.
Because we don't want you to miss the opportunity to join us at the early bird price. Mm-hmm. So make sure you get your ticket, get it as soon as possible. Don't miss out.
Yes. Thank you. Exactly. Because if you miss out, you're going to miss this guy right here, Bill Predebon. Bill Predebon is one of our featured trainers and instructors. He's 24. Actually, that's the wrong information on Bill Predebon.
Oh, my goodness. I did it again.
You did it again. You did that once before. Not to worry.
I'm
not to
so
worry. We're
sorry.
going to get that right. Let me tell you what Bill's good at. He's a seasoned real estate investor. He's been involved in hundreds of transactions. He's doing some incredible things. He's got a strategy right now that he's calling from the ground up, where he's literally going in and taking existing housing and pretty much stripping them down and building them from the ground up so that he can maximize efficiencies as well as city codes and obviously the profits that are realized from a house like that too.
I love the way that he talks about how to work through the red tape that comes along with every municipality that you work within.
Absolutely.
Whether it's designing an ADU or it's being able to reconstruct a house and exactly what the different definitions of a house are and how you can refurbish it, rehab it, or just completely redo it.
And Bill's going to be there with you to share all of his wit and wisdom on that subject. Mr. Troy Dunn. Now, Troy Dunn was a TV personality. He's done some incredible things. Has, under his belt, he's got 3 network primetime TV shows that he's been a star of. He's the author of several best-selling books, international speaker, and the founder of the Locator Foundation. An incredible guy, an unbelievable speaker, wealth of knowledge. We're thrilled to be able to have Troy with us at this event. We also have Mr. John Pennington Jr., who's going to be with us. John is the co-founder of Bridge Investment Group, a $28 billion investment fund. He made his money in opportunity zones. This was an individual who said, hey, I know how to run a business. Why not do a fund? So he did a private equity fund, started to gather the resources that were necessary to go out there and reconstruct in opportunity zones so that he could take advantage of all the tax benefits that go along with that, as well as the upside appreciation because of the need for housing. He has built an enormous fund, $28 billion. He did it all in the backs of real estate. He's going to be there to share with everybody a little bit of his experience and institutional knowledge along the way.
Didn't we hear just a couple weeks ago one of our other instructors talking about opportunity zones that are going to be coming our way?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So
I believe
didn't
Chris Wilson had something to say about that.
Well, Chris and Patrick talked about it as well.
Oh, Patrick
with
did
the
talk
big
about that,
beautiful
yes.
bill coming out and how opportunity zones are going to be becoming forthcoming again at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, so you want to be there at the E3 Summit so you can be in the know rather than on the sidelines watching everybody else take advantage of an incredible opportunity. 30 plus amazing instructors at the Renatus E3 Summit. You don't want to miss this. I don't care where you're at around the country, fly in. If you say you can't get off work, call in well. That's probably a good idea. Just
That's
call
a great
in,
idea.
Call your employer and say, hey, listen, I feel way too good to come into work today.
Hey,
and
Bob,
come join us.
By the way,
Yeah?
October 23rd through 25th, I'm going to be feeling so good, I'm not coming into the office that day.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really happy that you're not going to be coming into the office that day because I need you at the Salt Lake
That's right. I'll be
Sheraton.
down in Salt Lake.
So that we can make this thing run flawlessly. To get registered, it's really simple. I've got a QR code or the link right there on your screen. So go to renatus.me/E3 Summit, or you can take a picture of that on your phone, and that'll open up your browser to the appropriate registration page. E3 Summit, E 3 times stands for Educate, Equip, Engage. We do not want you to miss this incredible opportunity. Come, but don't come alone. Invite some folks with you that also want to learn about the wonderful world of real estate investing. Over those 3 incredible days and 2 evening sessions, you're going to have your mind blown, and we're going to help you understand all of the amazing opportunities that are before us right now, today, in this market when it concerns real estate investing. So let's do it together, man. Let's make some things happen. Any parting words there, Jay?
I love it. I'm so excited about this opportunity. Did you know that the early bird expires tomorrow?
Holy
at
smokes,
midnight?
you don't say. It's tomorrow at midnight.
It's tomorrow at
Mountain
midnight.
time, right?
Mountain time.
Yes, it expires.
I don't want anybody to miss that opportunity.
I don't either.
Tomorrow.
Now listen, does that mean that they can't get a ticket after tomorrow at midnight?
Oh, they can absolutely get a ticket after tomorrow after midnight.
After midnight Mountain time.
Mountain time.
Yes.
It's just going to cost them more.
Oh, so there's tickets still available.
Still available.
Yeah. But this will be a sold-out event. You don't want to delay because you never know when the last ticket's going to be gone. So enjoy the early bird special right now. And then, if you miss it, there's still an opportunity. But don't wait too long because that opportunity is fleeting because the seats are filled. Well, then we just can't get you in. There will be no more room in the inn.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we're thrilled for that and excited to see you there. Let me just remind everybody here, the great thing about real estate investing is it really starts out as a home-based business. And if home is where the heart is, shouldn't your business be there too? Until next week for the Renatus InvestEdge, we'll say good day and God bless everybody. Bye-bye now.